been described as many things, including a PR budget, an election budget, all seeming to be pointing at the fact that the Treasury this time is trying to perhaps woo back a disenfranchised population that has been hard hit by inflation. Was that your objective?
Look, you know, we've done a lot in the last 3-4 years in terms of laying the framework for us to create the necessary jobs and get Kenyans live a better life. So if you look at this budget, we've tried to now explain to Kenyans what we need to do in the next year and beyond. And if you look at what we have done over the 4 years was to invest a lot on infrastructure because we needed them, because it was not possible for us to attract manufacturers or businesses to do business here in Kenya if the cost of power is expensive, transport costs were high. So we had to do that. Yeah.
But you do see how the timing appears suspect. The vast social protection measures that you put in place this time round coming late in the day when you don't know that this administration will be there next year to implement the budget.
Not at all. Probably it's a coincidence, I would say.
Oh, is it?
It's really a coincidence that we've really accomplished laying the foundation, but now the more focus is really creating the jobs, making the lives of Kenyans better. And this is why you see the budget today was very clear that we wanted to support manufacturing. We wanted to support businesses that create jobs for Kenyans. And we also wanted to cushion Kenyans in the view of the challenges that we are facing both internally and what's happening externally. There's no real connection with really elections as been said. It was the plan of things, you know, do first things first, and then now move to the most important thing, create the jobs and all that. So if you see the thrust of my budget really was for us now to say what is the next stage from next year going beyond.
And I think that is what economists have debated in terms of your budgeting process, and I'll get to that a little later. But your priorities, that macro was first and micro was second, whereas they have envisaged that perhaps the population would have appreciated the reverse. But let's talk about that a little later. I want to get some clarity on Parliament's allocation, this time getting a whopping 36 billion shillings. Last year it was 13.46 billion. What is the 23 billion increase for?
Well, I don't think this year's budget for Parliament was 23. It must be something like I would imagine 27, 28 thereabout. The difference from 36 to current budget allocation, which I think is around 28, is that it's a transition budget for Parliament. You know very well that we are having an election in August. There will be mostly new parliamentarians.
Is this a backdoor award of the MP send-off package?
No. The fact there is no send-off package, really. What is there is that there will be, of course, the normal gratuity for them, for those who have worked for the 4.5 years. And, of course, there will be new parliamentarians which will have to access the benefits that they accessed, which is including house loan, car grants, car loans, and all that. So, in a way, you have to pay those who are leaving and pay those who are coming in. So that's why it moves on. And if you see going forward beyond 2017-18, it stabilizes, comes back to normal. So it's just one-off because of a unique year. It's a transition. So there isn't any connection with that send-off package.
All right. There have been concerns about how you're going to finance this budget. Of course, one of them has been the new tax measures that you put in place, very punitive in particular when it comes to the betting industry. Why such punitive measures? 50%. Yet at the same time you're still licensing. If government is so convinced that this is harmful to the public, why not just scrap it all together?
Well, okay, in a way, it's a win-win situation. We are having a flourishing sector, which is the gaming sector, which is flourishing.
Which is bad.
And it doesn't have effective regulations, so to speak. If it had, probably we would be talking differently. But we had to do this because we are seeing, because of lack of regulations, we are even seeing young people, even children that we send to school with school fees, they are using it for gambling or betting. It's very dangerous for the society. Because if regulations were there, they will know that they will not enter into such a sector. But now we are not having a robust regulations. So what we are saying here is that then we can use taxation measures for now as we set up a robust regulation regime for this new flourishing sector of gambling, betting, or lottering and all that. So we had to do this because the proceeds that will come out of this 50%, we were going to put it in a sports fund, which will still help the.
How much are you looking to net from it?
Well, we haven't fully calculated what is what we're gonna get, but certainly we're already seeing that it's a big industry. Going by the numbers we hear, it's going to be a 100 billion sector annually. So if that numbers are correct, then if we take 50% of that, you can see what we can raise for our sports and culture and do so many things and all that.
Right. I want to shift gears now and talk about basically what the administration's fiscal guiding principle has been over the last 4 years, given that we do not know that you'll be there to deliver it again next year. But there's been the accusation that for this administration, there hasn't been proper fiscal planning to the extent that, you know, on paper these are great political statements, but at the end of the day we do not see the impact of those trillions in very perhaps common sense places like roads. The number of roads this administration has built has been disputed, electric connections, etc. What do you think about that? Well,
I'll be very surprised if the number of kilometers of roads that have been done is really disputed. You can tell what has been done since 2013. You can't see them. Look, that is the opposition talking. So anybody can say anything, but the facts, if you had actually done your facts, we can put it on the table and discuss. But anybody can say anything. But the fact is that a lot has happened on the roads that we can demonstrate. We can provide all the data of the number of kilometers of roads that have been done. But just come back to your
the impact has not been felt?
Look, it definitely has been felt, because if you look at our investment in infrastructure alone, the benefits are like the cost of power. Just let's take just an example. The cost of power has come down because we have produced more power and at a cheaper price, and the benefit is that we are now paying probably in the range of single digit, or probably 10 cents per kilowatt, as opposed to 18 or 20 that we had in 2013. That, if you don't feel that, really strange. The other thing is we have connected more people in the power. It's very clear. You go to the rural areas, you go anywhere, you go even in Nairobi city, it's much brighter than it was 5 years, 2, 3, 5, 4 years ago.
So if you're groping in the dark, that would be strange. Okay, I get your point. Yes. I want us to move on, CS, because we're running out of time. Economists have also said that what Kenya really should be doing is tightening the belt, living within its means, and there's a lot of concern regarding the kind of public debt that we are incurring. What are your thoughts on that? Does it not make good sense, even for a household budget, to spend what you can and not borrow to pay what you borrow?
Yes, in fact, in Treasury, this is our daily bread. What we do is that, what can we collect from revenue? What can we spend? How much can we borrow? Just the same decision you make as a household person is the same decision we make at Treasury, but the difference is that we do it collective. We do the sum total of all Kenyans put together. But we behave the same way like the household.
The thinking being that you could have gone slower on some of these.
Yeah, I was coming to that. Look, and this back to just what you had asked her, that our strategy was that, look, from 2013, we had space to invest in the much needed infrastructure, and I can enumerate the ones I've just said on energy, the road sector, railway sector, ports, and the like. We did that because we needed them. We needed to bring the cost of power. We needed a decent infrastructure to lower the cost, and we have done that. Now that today I mentioned that we are now on a consolidation plan in the next 3 years. Any government must definitely adopt that, because we have to lower our deficit and bring our debts now within the levels that we have set ourselves to live with, so that we don't create any destabilization in the economy. So the plan is that, yes, we had to do what we did so that we can invest in all these very important transformative programs that we have done. Now that we have done that, we have now laid the framework for us to create jobs, have Kenyans enjoy a better life, and now we begin slowly to reduce our deficits, reduce our debts to levels that are that will remain sustainable going forward. So that's a simple the
no
plan
regrets.
of things. Absolutely.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Treasury CS Henry Rotich.